Hello and welcome to Pathways to Profitability. My name is Erik Segelbaum. I am the founder and chief of innovation officer of SOMLYAY, full service hospitality consulting. And today we're going to talk about training. More importantly, we're going to talk about why most people get it wrong and how you can get it right. So there's a really big problem with training in our industry. Training, for the most part, actually, really, it's not just our industry. There's a big problem with training across the board, unilaterally, in every industry. But I don't care about other industries right now. I care about the one I've devoted 30 years of my life to, and that is food, beverage, restaurant, and hospitality. People get training wrong because people focus on what? Okay, training is educational, but training is not education. A lecture at a college or a university or a high school is an educational session. Training has an educational component, but that's not really what it's for. When you're training your team, you're training them to have knowledge that they can then share with a guest. And the purpose for that is twofold. Number one, improving guest experience. And number two, improving the financial position of your business by being able to boost revenue or bring in additional revenue, right? That's the whole idea behind why we train. That's why you want your servers to know the history of the chef, the culinary philosophy of the restaurant, where the fish comes from, all of these things, right? How something is made, what allergens might be in there. They're all about helping to sell the item and also helping to improve the guest experience. So where people get it wrong with wine especially, more than anything, is wine training is about what? I can't tell you how many doldrum wine trainings I've sat through where it's like, this is what the wine is, this is what the region is, this is what the sub-region is, this is what the appellation is about, this is what the harvest date was, this is what the vinification vessel was, this is what the oak profile was, this is what the time it's been in bottle was, this is what the wine is, this is what the winery is, this is what the winery's dog is named. Okay, taste the wine and sell it, right? That's irrelevant. You know what I've never said to a guest as a sommelier? Oh, this wine was harvested on the 28th of September. It was fermented in stainless steel and then spent 18 months in oak. Who cares? Nobody cares, right? All these what factors are irrelevant. Training is about how and why. Why is it in the list? How does it pair with food? Why would it pair with this food versus that food? Why would a guest be excited about it? Why are we as an operation excited about it? How does it taste? How does it make you feel? Why does it elicit these kind of reactions? How does the elements of this, or how do the elements of this wine complement the food, etc., etc.? That is what is important, right? We're not selling wine based on what it is. We're selling wine on how and why it impacts the experience. And there are a lot of different ways we can do it. So you want to talk about how the wine is special. Why does it pair well with the food? How do you effectively suggest and recommend it? Because remember, no matter how many sommeliers your restaurant has, whether you have some or not, no matter how many there are, they cannot influence and inform every single interaction when it comes to wine sale. You need your servers to be able to understand how and why a wine is special and how and why to suggest and recommend it to a guest. No amount of knowledge of what the wine is going to help if a server doesn't feel confident in how to describe it to a guest and to know why and really when to recommend it to a guest, right? How does the story capture interest? Why would a guest be excited about it? These are the important things. So remember, most sales are made from a feeling of connection and excitement. They're not based on technical details. Think about car commercials, right? They don't talk about the specs of a car. They show the car driving fast in beautiful environments, right? Why would you want that car and why would you want to drive it versus what is the car technically? Right? Think about that for a minute. It's all about the way it makes you feel, the how and why. And that is absolutely vitally important when it comes to training. So when you're doing your trainings, don't go through a tech sheet. Have them taste the wine and ask them how they would pair it with certain menu items. And then ask why. And if your service staff isn't comfortable doing that, then you can lead it. Say, I would pair this with this item on the list, and here's why. Here's how I would explain this to a guest. When a guest says, I'm looking for a wine like this, here's how and why I would suggest this wine. Right? Here are some talking points about this wine that aren't so much technical, but are meant to elicit feelings. Here is some descriptive language that you can use that apply to this wine that are going to really cause a guest to feel connected to it in some way or another, that they're going to want to then make the decision to buy that wine. This is ultimately what's the most important thing about training. And if you apply this, I guarantee you'll see your sales increase. You can apply this to anything. If for operators that are watching this or chefs that are watching this, if you've got a dish that you're passionate about that doesn't sell very well, you can help a server understand how and why it's special and meaningful and important, or a signature, and that will absolutely bolster sales. But if you have a server spout out the technical details of that dish, you might never sell it. I mean, think about menu descriptive languages, right? A menu item might list, I'm talking about food items now, a menu item might list some various key components of it, but a menu is not, an item is not a recipe, right? A recipe would be, what is it? A menu item is how and why. So too should the interactions with your sommeliers, your beverage managers, your bartenders, your servers, with guests. How and why is the way you should train them, and they will translate that how and why to the guests, and that will translate to you as better revenue, better profitability. Thank you for listening. My name is Erik Segelbaum, and this has been Pathways to Profitability.